Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. First of all, welcome to the State Department. It's wonderful to see this particular group of extraordinary people gathered here this evening. And I'm going to say at the outset, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to have to leave immediately upon sharing a few thoughts with you because I've got to catch a plane to head to Europe, but I did not want this day to go by without having a chance to spend a few minutes with you and to take account of the remarkable work, the life-changing work that so many people in this room have done. For decades, we've had Afghans, as you heard from Rich, from all walks of life, taking extraordinary risks to build a more peaceful, a more prosperous, a more inclusive country. They fought for equal rights for women and girls, for freedom of religion, for democracy, and so many over years, especially the 20 years preceding the Taliban takeover, worked side by side with U.S. diplomats, U.S. soldiers, with international organizations, with others, all with the purpose of advancing progress for the Afghan people. Interpreters, some ran education programs, others provided medical care, each and every one extraordinary in their dedication to their country, to its people, to their future. When President Biden ended America's longest war, he made a commitment that the United States would always stand with our partners, including by continuing to facilitate relocation, resettlement, by bringing people to safety. And we're all here tonight because we shared in that commitment. We shared in that pledge. In 2021, as the Taliban took over Afghanistan, people from around the world jumped into action to evacuate our Afghan partners and their families. To take our friends in civil society, first and foremost, who've done such remarkable work. And I would start with, I'm always trying to find the right words to describe Sean. Indefatigable, unstoppable, but Sean Van Diver, who's been such an extraordinary leader in this effort. Now, we'll hear from Sean in a moment. You expect that we would, of course, hear from Sean. But along with members of the Afghan EVAC Coalition, he dropped everything and worked around the clock, literally around the clock, to help Afghans escape. Over the last 3 years, so many of you have continued to go to extraordinary lengths to deliver on this shared commitment to the Afghan people. Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Albania, Kosovo, the Philippines, and other countries have all provided safe haven for Afghans on their way to their new homes. Colleagues across the department, across the United States government, led with diplomacy to build this international network. They reviewed sometimes incredibly complex cases with care, with compassion, and with determination. Partners on both sides of the aisle in Congress have provided critical funding and legislative authorities where necessary, including two members who are here with us tonight, Representative Scott Peters, Senator Chris Coons, and I'm so grateful to them for their leadership and their work. Thank you. And Chris is here somewhere too. Our friends from nonprofits, from resettlement agencies, have worked across the United States to support refugees, enrolling kids in local schools, connecting people to English classes, offering sometimes just a friendly smile, a warm meal, showing a new family around town. In 2023, the State Department launched the Welcome Corps, a program that empowers American citizens to act as sponsors for refugees in their communities. And I have to say, as I've seen this take root in all 50 states, people coming forward in their communities to sponsor Afghans, it's been quite remarkable. And I think it speaks powerfully to the desire across our country, across our communities, again, in every state, to do just what the Welcome Corps says, to welcome new Americans to our shores so that they can continue the story of our country. Last year, we grew our collaboration with Afghan EVAC and its 200-member coalition of organizations and nonprofits. Together, we've pooled resources. We've made the resettlement processes more efficient than they were. We coordinated our efforts more closely with other civil society groups. As a result of these partnerships, as a result of this extraordinary effort, nearly twice as many Afghans came to the United States in 2024 than the year before. More than 3,000 refugees, hundreds of them Afghans, have built new lives. They've built new lives here in America, in our cities, in our towns, because of this Welcome Corps program. And so far, more than 125,000 Americans have applied through Welcome Corps to be sponsors. Again, that speaks volumes about the heart of this country. Altogether, since 2021, we've reunited thousands of Afghan families, and we've relocated and resettled more than 180,000 Afghans. And what are we seeing as a result? We're seeing new friends, new partners, new citizens-to-be, enriching businesses with their talents, bringing their knowledge, their perspective to our schools, sharing parts of their culture, their food, their music, with their neighbors, enriching this country. Afghans have become an integral part of our communities, and we've seen that take place in a very short period of time. Now, having said all that, I think everyone in this room knows that we still have a lot more to do. A lot more to do for Afghans in our country, a lot more to do for those who are still on the way. We need to expedite the resettlement of Afghans from countries that have offered them temporary shelter. We need to find more countries that are willing to offer to provide them permanent resettlement. We need our colleagues in Congress to expand access to special immigrant visas. And we need this extraordinary network of partners to continue their heroic efforts. Now, around this room tonight, we have the paintings that Afghan children made while they were waiting to come to the United States, as well as to other countries. And you see them here behind me and all around the room. They left some colorful handprints. They drew loved ones. One child included lines from the poet Rumi at the bottom of her painting, a call to sow, and I quote, the seeds of kindness and of love. Now, like many of you, I've had the privilege to meet with some of these remarkable young people all around the world. I've been struck time and again by their determination, by their resilience, by their bravery. They've shared their hopes with me, they've shared their hopes with you, to finish their education, to become fashion designers, to start their own businesses. Many of these kids will now be able to pursue their dreams in safety. And that is thanks, in large part, to everyone in this room. So, we all get to do lots of different things in our lives, in our careers, whether it's here at the State Department or in the work that each and every one of you is doing. But it's not often that you get the opportunity to actually make such a profound difference in one person's life, in a child's life, in a family's life. And maybe to put it as simply as possible, an opportunity to help someone's story continue, a story that otherwise might have ended, and ended very differently. So, to each and every one of you, thank you for these extraordinary contributions you've made to helping stories continue, the extraordinary difference you've made in people's lives. That's invaluable. But it doesn't just happen. It happened because of you, because of this shared commitment, because of our determination to do as right as we can by so many Afghan friends and partners who stood side by side with us for so many years. And all I can say in wishing you a good continuation this evening is let's keep at it. There's more work to be done. We all know that. Let's do it. Thank you so very much.